Mon Mothma was the founder and leader of the Rebel Alliance and former senator of the Republic. Despite her importance, many of her scenes have been cut out of previous movies, but Andor finally gives her the attention her story deserves. Mothma already appeared in Return of the Jedi as the Rebels' leader, but stayed more of a background character there. In a deleted scene of Revenge of the Sith, she is shown to lay the foundations for the later Rebel Alliance together with Bail Organa and Padme Amidala, after Palpatine took over control of the Senate. From then on, she is seen in various episodes of the Clone Wars and Rebels, as well as in Rogue One, a Star Wars story, until she now finally gets her full character arc in Andor, as she tries to stay undercover in the Imperial Senate while supporting Resistance.
There's a good chance they'll miss what I'm really doing.
What are you really doing?
Mon Mothma grew up on the inner core world of Chandrila, a wealthy planet rich of history and culture.
Yes, it's his day of days. It's a Chandrilan custom, one of our many.
Yours is a rich history.
Well, that's a kind way of putting it.
Chandrilans are often described as charismatic and educated, but also snobby to some. Mothma was already born as the daughter of the planet's governor, so the political career was foreseeable, despite she originally wanted to become a historian. Her affection for history is still part of her character, her everyday life, and her cover.
The overworld sharing the same mouth.
If you can't deliver, I need to know.
Do you think I'm not trying?
With only 15, she became the youngest senator to ever represent her homeworld in the Galactic Senate of the Republic. Known for reasonable and peaceful politics and charismatic appearance, she soon found political allies in Padme Amidala and Bail Organa, as well as in Senator Palpatine. During the blockade of Naboo and during the first days of the Clone War, they belonged to the biggest supporters of Palpatine, first of his nomination to become Chancellor and later of his efficient way to deal with bureaucracy. The same efficient and effective methods that finally leaves them speechless after Palpatine efficiently dethroned the Senate as the ultimate democratic authority and declared himself lone ruling emperor. After the reorganization of the Republic into an empire, Mothma often spoke against plans of the Emperor and was therefore soon classified as anti-imperial and stood under constant observation. During the time of the Andor show, Mothma tried to finance and ultimately unite different rebel cells which fought against Imperial rule all over the galaxy, a plan to unite the forces that took until shortly before the events of Rogue One, a Star Wars story.
Give in! Joined an alliance, not a suicide pact.
We've only now managed to gather our forces.
From then on, she was elected as the leader of the Rebel Council and therefore organized the resistance against the Empire, including overall strategy, diplomatic relations and also undercover missions of the Rebel Alliance. With the destruction of the second Death Star and the fall of the Empire, Mon Mothma was non-surprisingly one of the leading figures to restore the Republic. Elected as the first Chancellor of the new Republic, she immediately began with disarmament, bringing balance and peace back to the galaxy. After the family relation between Leia Organa and Darth Vader became widely public, Leia had to step back from her political duties, but Mon Mothma still stood by her and ultimately helped establishing the resistance to oppose the new unknown threats from the unknown regions. Suffering a disease in her last days, she retired from politics back on her homeworld, which led to chaos in the New Republic Senate as two major parties couldn't agree on how to organize the New Republic, finally strengthening the First Order in their attempt to gain control over the galaxy again. Mon Mothma was a calm, smart but also charismatic personality. She was also highly respected by her troops as well as other senators, even by those who opposed her ideals. She always stood with her ideals and didn't let herself corrupt by Palpatine during his reign, even though that means she eventually had to flee from Coruscant. And even though she makes use of military force when she sees her ideals threatened, she supported peace, democracy and disarmament. Mon Mothma's career seems to be inspired by French statesman and hero Charles de Gaulle. Like Mothma, de Gaulle also went from being the founder and leader of a resistance government against the fascist occupation to the legitimate head of state. This is it with Mon Mothma's character background, guys. Let me know in the comments what do you think of Andor so far and how do you like Mon Mothma's role played by Guinevere O'Reilly.